I got the blue lights on right now. I dimmed down some of the other lights, so I think I fixed it just a little bit. It still doesn't look as good, but whatever. Today we are talking about Michael Haneke, or maybe it's, I guess to say it fancier, it's Michael Haneke. It's probably not, but Michael Haneke. I'm finally talking about his films, some of them, and I might actually do a ranking of his stuff if you guys would like that. I do enjoy doing ranking videos, and I'm kind of getting better at doing filmographies where, like, I would watch a Kurosawa film, then I'd turn around and watch a Tarkovsky film, then I'd turn around and watch a Lars von Trier film, and I'm starting to get to the point where I'm just like, all right, I'm going to watch all their stuff back and forth. So there's a couple more Michael Haneke films that I need to watch. I recently just watched The White Ribbon, both of the Funny Game movies, which is what I'm going to talk about. It's going to be a fun video. It's going to be hopefully a little bit fun. And also I have Amour, and I think it's called Cachet. Yep, I have those as well. But I also want to check out 71 Fragments and Benny's video. So there's I think two more that I want to check out. So I might actually watch those first, obviously, if I'm going to do a ranking. But it might not be the most complete ranking, but it'll be a ranking of the ones that I've seen. Anyway, but if you guys want to see that, please let me know. So today we're going to be talking about two films that are basically one film that are from the same director. And most of the time, I am not down with remakes. I would rather have a reboot than an actual remake. I love reboots. I don't know why people hate reboots so much, because I feel like reboots don't tarnish the original at all. Because, you know, it's a reboot, so basically it's a new universe. It's a new sort of, at least that's kind of what I think a reboot used to be. Now there's sort of these new things where it's like a legacy remake or reboot where the first one or like a couple of them only matter. I don't know. What I'm talking about when I'm talking about a reboot is it's a completely new universe, a completely new take on a story. And for the first time, I don't think this would work as a reboot. I think a remake was very proper. And especially coming from the same director, I love that, because that means that this was a story that he was attached to, he was very passionate about, and I can respect that a lot. But yeah, I like reboots. I feel like they don't tarnish the original. You know, it's there. You know, if you don't want to watch it, you don't want to watch it. It's not like it's part two or a remake. It's like, oh, I gotta see this now. I guess technically a remake you don't have to, because a remake would technically be whatever. I'm not even getting into that. But I thought today would be fun because I'm going to talk about both the Funny Game movies. I'm going to talk about the original 1997 Funny Games, and then I'm going to talk about the 2007 Funny Games. If I remember correctly, this one was actually kind of hard to find, the 2007 Funny Games. I think I had to get this like used somewhere, but I have it. And these are basically shot for shot remakes. One is, I believe it is German. Yep, German, and one is English. One has Tim Roth and one doesn't. One has Naomi Watts and one doesn't. But I will say, let's do this. This is going to be a nice little versus. This is going to be a versus, and I'm going to split this up into I don't know. I'm just going to talk about them. That's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to talk about them. So I ended up watching the first one with my wife, and then I woke up the next morning at 6 a.m. before editing, because we edit at 8:30. Or, well, on the weekends it's 8:30. We edit the Hunt for August Red, and, you know, we've been keeping it consistent. But I try to wake up a little bit earlier so I can, you know, cram a movie in there. And Funny Games was that movie. My wife had no interest in watching the remake after she got done with the original one, which I guess I can say rightfully so. But watch the original one, watch the remake. What did I think of both of them, and which one do I think is better, and which one would I recommend if somebody could only watch one or only wanted to watch one? Because I would understand if you only wanted to watch one, because they are basically the same movie. The remake definitely has more noticeable faces. I mean, Naomi Watts, Tim Roth. I mean, come on, you know, those pretty big actors, pretty decent. I mean, I love Tim Roth. I think Tim Roth is great. And honestly, you know, the original one, I don't know the actors off the top of my head. I would have to look it up and tell you. So yeah, there's that. The 2007 one is probably more accessible to American audiences, but, you know, obviously the German one is more accessible to a German audience. But basically, they're both the same movie. I will say, though, the 2007 one is very censored. But first, what is Funny Games about? So Funny Games is about a family, a mother, a father, and a son. They go to this sort of vacation home or what have you. They're rich. You can tell they're wealthy, and they go in there, and these two guys with they're dressed in white. These young guys ask for eggs, and they keep dropping the eggs, and then it turns into a night of torture to the family from these two dudes. That's all I'm going to say for right now. I don't know if I'll get into spoiler territory or not, but. And I probably won't because I don't like to get into spoiler territory. But just know they're the same film. That's the premise you're going to get for both of them. The thing is, the 2007 one is censored. There is one scene in particular that is very censored, like extremely censored. And I feel like it did lose that overall sort of shock value, which some people look down on shock value in films. Me, I sort of praise it because I love being shocked in a movie. And the first movie did shock me. It really did. There was a scene in the movie. I didn't expect for them to do it. They did it. And then they actually sort of show you the aftermath. And I was sitting there and I was like, holy shit, they actually did that. That is crazy. So I was very interested in the 2007 one. So I was like, okay, I want to see how they do that in this one. Like, I really want to see how they do that. And they did it, but they censored it very heavily. And I wasn't a big fan of that. Now, I will say it is very interesting to watch a foreign film and then go watch an American version of that with basically the same dialogue, like less than 12 hours apart. That was very interesting. I do feel like the dialogue and the way things are said did work better as the original version in the German language. Because where it is a shot-for-shot remake, it is very slow. There are some slow parts of the film, which I didn't mind personally, but I do feel like it worked better in the original. I don't know. It's hard to explain. Maybe if you watch the 2007 one first and then go to the original one, it might be a flip-flop. So I don't know. Maybe that's just me because I did watch the original one first. But if I am being completely honest, final verdict for Funny Games, which one I would recommend watching, I would recommend watching the original one. I mean, they are both the same movie, and Michael Haneke did want to make a statement about violence in Hollywood, and basically he wanted it to be made for an American audience, but he ended up, making it in Germany, and then he went back and made it in the United States and America. So, either way, the point is going to get across. But there are some things that this film does that just absolutely, it's crazy. It is crazy, and I loved it. It threw me off guard so much. But if you could only watch one, and if you only want to watch one, and you did have no interest in watching both of them, go with the original one. They hold nothing back, and I don't know. I feel like I feel like it's creepier. It is creepier. There's also another scene where this little boy is running through this house, and this music is playing, and he stops, and he's in the corner, and then you see the dude walking. And that part really did sort of jar me a little bit. I was like, wow, that actually is kind of freaky. Imagine being that age and something like that happening. But anyway, guys. Funny Games, crazy. Michael Haneke, you have completely got me hooked. I also recently watched The Piano Teacher, which is probably my favorite so far from what I've seen of his. I don't know. We'll have to see. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a thumbs up and maybe subscribe. I hope you're staying safe out there. And let me know in the comments below which one you liked better. Did you like the 1997 original, or did you like the 2007 American remake? But anyway, see you guys next time.